Hello, let me introduce myself. My name's Michael, and I'm a comedian, and I used to have a massive heroin problem. Relax, I'm not going to nick anything. I've given up. I haven't taken heroin for, 25 years. I haven't even had a drink for 25 years. Don't worry, I'm not born again or anything. I don't even own a cardigan. Do you know what? I was stopped by the police the other day and in my car, and they said, "You were driving erratically, sir. When's the last time you had a drink?" And I said, 1986. And the copper said, "You think you're a bit of a comedian, don't you?" I said yes, and I explained, and we laughed and laughed, and then he nicked me. The point is, I had a huge heroin problem. For 10 years, I used heroin intravenously every day in those 10 years. And obviously, it totally destroyed my life, and I became very ill. It's not really the drugs that make you ill, it's the lifestyle. You don't look after yourself. I didn't used to eat. I say I didn't used to eat. I used to eat crunchy bars. I lived almost entirely on crunchy bars, and at the end of 10 years, I was 9 stone, and I went bright yellow. I put it down to the crunchies. Turned out to be liver failure. Never a big laugh there. So, to cut a long and unsuitable for Radio 4 story short, I ended up in rehab. And it wasn't the kind of, health farm I was expecting. It was a very strict regime. No TV, no books, no music, no drugs, which was a bit of a shock, including alcohol. They didn't really care about what drugs you took. They weren't interested. What they wanted you to do was look at yourself. That's what they said the problem was, you, not the drugs. And the way they made us look at ourselves, or one of the ways, was to give us verbals. Now, let me explain a verbal. A verbal is something that you have to say whenever you speak. I had to say, whenever I spoke, my verbal was, "I'm Mike, I'm not cool, I'm sick." Yeah. Not good if you're trying to chat out one of the new girls. The other thing, of course, about stopping taking drugs all of a sudden is if you stop taking drugs after you've taken them for a long time, everything you've been avoiding comes flooding back. So your appetite comes flooding back, your sense of humour, your sex drive, all these things come flooding back. And it was health food in this rehab. We all turned up, 9 stone, 1 set of clothes, health food. Within a week, I'd put on a stone. Everyone had put on a stone. Everyone's clothes was too small. No one could do up their trousers. It was a bit like an Incredible Hulk convention. It was madness in this place. I walked around the place with my trousers undone, with an erection, laughing my head off. And just in case there was any doubt, I was also having to go, "Hi, I'm Mike. I'm not cool, I'm sick." But rehab's a bit like driving lessons. You pass your test and suddenly you're out in the world on your own for the very first time. And I came out of rehab at 28. I'd never done anything without the support of drugs in my life. I'd never been on a date without being on drugs. I'd never had sex not on drugs. I'd never driven a car not on drugs. I'd never been for a job interview not on drugs. Didn't get many jobs. And what a lot of people don't realise is, let's say you start taking drugs when you're 15, you give up at 30. In those 15 years, you haven't progressed emotionally in any way, okay? So let's say you give up at 30 after 15 years, suddenly you're 15 again. If you're a bloke, you're 12, okay? So I'm out in the world for the first time, I've got to start my new life, okay? I'm emotionally 12, okay? I've got to start dating again. You try dating if you're emotionally 12. I still thought a good idea of chatting up a woman was to run after her with a bit of poo on a stick. You try playing kiss chase if you're a fully grown man. You get arrested. Now, of course, the other thing was I had to get a job. I came out of rehab, I had to start my life again, move to a new town, get a job. Now, I got a job as a photocopier repairman, okay? Now, it's the sort of job that if you apply for it, you're going to get it, okay? I knew nothing about photocopy repairing, but I applied, I lied, I said I could do it, and I got the job. So, picture the scene. I'm fresh out of rehab, okay? I'm working in a kids' school on my first day. I'm in a big room, I'm in the corner repairing the photocopier, okay? I say repairing it. I'm looking at it and thinking, I haven't got a clue what's wrong with this. I'll tell them it's the paper. Okay? So I'm there in the corner, the kids come into the room, they're infants, they're in their school uniforms, they all look sweet. They sit round in a big ring on the floor, and then the teacher comes in and they start to sing a song. They're all holding hands and they're singing a song. I'm in the corner, emotionally unstable, awash with feelings, mental age of 12. I'm listening to the song, it's a lovely song, and it reminds me of childhood. I suddenly think, oh my God, I'm going to cry, right? So I think, I can't cry in front of all these kids, it's going to be a bit weird, what can I do? I thought, I know, I could either run out of the room crying, that'd be a bit odd, wouldn't it? Probably lose my job. I thought, I can't do that. So I thought, what I'll do is I'll get down behind the photocopier and I'll pretend to do something round the back and I'll be to cry and no one will know, okay? So, I'm crouched behind the photocopier, right? Crying my eyes out. Occasionally tapping it with a screwdriver. To make it seem like I'm doing something, okay? Eventually, one of the kids sees me, and he puts his hand up, and I think, oh, God, no. And the teacher says, yes, what is it? And he says, miss, the photocopy repairman is crying. They all look at me, I've got to say something, do you know what I mean? All I could think of under pressure was, it's a very serious fault. I haven't got the right tools. Thanks for listening.